This is a 2002 Ram 1500. It has a bad alternator. In this video I'm going to show you how to replace that alternator. First steps in replacing the alternator is to disconnect the battery, negative terminal, remove this little air box guy, and take the belt off. The belt tensioner is down here. Put your breaker bar or ratchet on the tensioner. Push down or clockwise, relieves pressure on the belt. This is a good time to inspect the quality of the belt as well and the condition. The air box is held on by these two hose clamps, a 10mm back there, and a 10mm screw back there. Once you have that loose, this simply lifts up and pulls out of the throttle body, and you disconnect the hose in the back. You now have the air box off. It's a good time to inspect your throttle body to look for any debris, any yuck in there. We now need to disconnect the electrical connectors on the back and then remove the bolts to free up the alternator. That nut is a 13mm. The alternator mounting bolts are 15mm. This little plastic cap just comes off to expose a 13mm right there. You may need to put a little screwdriver in here or a pry bar or something to help you wiggle it free. Okay, we have the old alternator out. Now we need to go compare it to the new one and transfer any electrical components or anything else over to the new one. Here we have the old alternator and the new alternator. We want to compare to make sure our connectors are the same. That little terminal needs to be a B+, and it is a B+ over here. We need to make sure that the pulley has the same amount of notches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are dealing with the same alternator. There we go, they look like they're a good match. So we'll go ahead and put the new one in the same order that we took the old one out. Snug up all these screws before you really tighten them down. You want to make sure you're threaded in there and the alternator is seated properly before you crank them. You want them tight but not super tight. Now we reconnect the electrical connectors. The electrical connector is snug. Do not crank that sucker down. Just get them tight. Now time to put the belt back on. 15mm. We twist the belt tensioner in the same direction. Push it down. And there you go, you've got the new alternator in, and we are lucky we had enough juice in the battery to start it up. Now chances are your battery will be drained when you do this, so you may have to jump it, or you may have to let it sit and run a little bit to charge the battery back up. Usually it's a good idea to hop in it and drive around for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you should be good to go. Good luck.